So what's up with mold? So mold is a health hazard. So that's something very important whether you're buying or selling a house, or if you're a renter as well, or a landlord. Mold can come in different colors, white, black, green. You'll see it in different ways. And it's reproduced through these spores that tend to be invisible to the naked eye. And the problem with mold is if it's disturbed, it can float up through the air and people can inhale it. And that's where dangerous things happen with our health. If you do see mold and don't disturb it, a lot of times it can be okay, but you do want to take care of it because it is a health danger. Now, mold doesn't grow unless there's moisture. And we live in Colorado, and Colorado is a desert climate, and there's not a lot of moisture in our air typically. We have very low humidity. So most of the time when we find mold, it's going to be from a leak and sometimes from the crawl space. The moisture from the ground will come up through the crawl space below the lowest floor and creates mold from the trapped moisture underneath the house. So in order to prevent that, we typically have a vapor barrier down on the ground in the crawl space under the house. Otherwise, we're looking for leaks. Leaks around faucets, around the windows, possibly around the appliances like the dishwasher or the refrigerator, as well as the pipes in the wall, because sometimes they can burst or they can get a pinhole leak or leak around the connections. And the ongoing leak, always providing moisture for the environment, is where mold can grow. So you want to look around those areas, the faucets, the windows, even the walls. If you're looking for bulging walls, if you see wet spots or soft spots in the wall, you can look for black or green or any of the signs of mold. A lot of times around the bathroom shower, if the bathroom isn't ventilated correctly, or not using the fan or opening a window to help ventilate after every shower, those are places that you want to look to see if there is possibility of mold. You can also hire an inspector to do an inspection specific to mold, and they can test for mold, and you can have them test in certain areas that you may be worried about. Definitely talk to your realtor if you're working to buy a house about the options with your inspection period on checking for mold as an add-on when they're doing an inspection before you buy the house. So what do you do if you do find mold? Well, in order to clean it up, a lot of times you may want to hire someone who's a professional for mold mitigation. So companies that do mold mitigation, they wear the full hazmat suits and they can clean up and dispose of items that are mold infested. For smaller spots, you might want to be able to clean it yourself or on a budget. You just really want to be careful because when you disturb the mold, that's when it becomes a health hazard. So use proper equipment, such as goggles so it doesn't get into your eyes, a mask, a proper mask, whether it's an N95 or one of those others that cover your mouth and controls the particles coming into your breathing. Because that's the big thing, is getting the spores of mold into your lungs. That's where you end up with a major health hazard. And remember to wear gloves so you're not touching it and it's not getting on your skin. And bleach is one of the best ways. There are other homemade options that you can Google about, ways with vinegar to try to kill off the mold spores before trying to clean it up. My best option is to hire the professionals or talk to a professional just because it's a health hazard. Ways you can help prevent mold from growing. Make sure you address any leaks as soon as you know about it. And that's where if you're a landlord in your lease, you should definitely designate that the tenant must let you know within 12 hours of any water leak so you can address it quickly before any mold starts to grow. For your gutters, make sure you keep them clean so that the water is draining through the way it's supposed to properly, down through the spouts and 6 feet away from the house. Make sure to use a fan when you're cooking as well as in the shower. If you see condensation on the windows, you can open those windows, turn on a fan to help dry out that area so that mold doesn't start to pop up anywhere. There's a brochure on my website with more details about mold if you're interested. If you like this content and want to keep learning more, please subscribe to my channel.